Hey everybody, it's Valerie V with the Valerie V Show, and we are actually here 10 minutes early. And the reason we're here 10 minutes early is because it takes a little while for people to join us. But I have some, musings to share with you until the top of the hour while people are getting ready. First of all, this is a great time for me to test the audio because I never really know if anybody can hear me. So that's what I'm doing right now. Of course, I have to find myself on the Valerie V Show, So let's see, I'll put this here, and we're gonna just check it out and make sure we can all hear each other, or I can hear me. Na, 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 na. Let's see. I don't want to write anything. I want you to refresh, and I want to see that we're live. Live? Are we live? Videos. See y'all. Doesn't show anything. So, a couple of things I'm going to share with you. You can see on the screen it says #woke because I'm going to share because you can't see this. So I'm just going to share with you my JP Sears merch. Woke AF. I did an entire podcast with Bob Clark, damn it, today. So if you don't know who that is, be sure to Google or go on Facebook and type in Bob Clark. He's got a little hat on. It's very funny. So I had to wear my woke AF shirt today. So one of the things that's really important about this show is that people get chocolate-covered strawberries sent to them by us if they participate with the show. So if you can hear my voice and you can see me and you can see #woke, if you will type in #woke, then you'll be in the drawing for the chocolate-covered strawberries. We send a dozen to whatever address you give me. And it's our thank you for being engaged and present and watching and hanging out with us for a few minutes, because these lives don't last very long, but we always try to talk about something that's super valuable to you and your business. So that's number one, is #woke. Wait a minute. I gotta pull my agenda up. If you watched the show last week or the week before, there are two people who won the strawberries. Beth Shalom from Central New Jersey won the first week's strawberries, and Jana Milligan from Fairport, New York won the second week. So it's pretty easy. If you're watching the replay, all you have to do is put in #replay. And when you do that, I know that you watched the replay. And if you're still commenting and when you're watching the replay, if you still do the little hashtag things and all that, because Facebook loves engagement. So that's why I'm asking you to do that. So if you're putting that stuff in, and of course, then you're in for the drawing and somebody wins, and I always announce who the winners are and ask you, private message you for your address so we can send that out to you. So I want to thank Beth and Jana for participating. Okay, next up is we're going to talk about my bunny issue. And I'm feeling puffy. God, I'm so puffy today. I'm puffy. I'm puffier than usual. I'm always fluffy. But today I'm puffy. I'm blaming it on soda. We have a bunny issue at our house. It's a serious issue. I live in St. Charles, Missouri, in a fairly new development. It's actually been here now 15 years, and it's in the middle of a cornfield, a lot of cornfields. We're on the north side, for those of you who live around here, north side of 370. It's Newtown, St. Charles. And there are thousands of rabbits in this community, which sounds cute until you see a bunch of them together looking at you while you take a walk. And then you think it's spooky or scary, or they look like rodents. It's not cute. So this is the first spring or summer that we've had a big yard. We've always had a really small yard. Now, I say big. Nobody here has a big yard, but big in comparison to what we used to have. So there's been 2 bunny nests already, and we have a fence. And we have 2 dogs. So there's already been bunny nests in the yard. The first one, unfortunately, the dogs found first, and they ate the bunnies. They ate the babies. The second one, we came home from a golf cart ride, and there's this random rabbit sitting in the middle of our backyard, just looking at us like, oh. And she was sitting on some bare spot on the ground and just weirdly sitting there. And I thought, ugh, either she just had babies or she had babies and she was here feeding them and we walked in on it or something. Gah. So after she left, we looked, and sure enough, there's a hole full of bunnies, little babies. So we put a lawn chair over it so that the dogs couldn't get to it. And we told the lawnmower man not to mow the bunnies, and he didn't. And so now we're waiting, and we're checking our cameras to see, is she feeding them? And are they gone? And I'm afraid to go look, because if I look and I don't see the bunnies, well, that would be great. But if I do see the bunnies and she hasn't been there to feed them, then they're starving and they're going to cry, and I'm going to want to help them. So I'm leaving the hole alone. I am not touching the bunny hole. It's rough. So there's been some chatter among my colleagues from 30 years ago about having a reunion, a class reunion 30 years ago. Whoa. I'm all for it. I think the last one we did was 20, so we did not do a 25. Now it's 30. We're all 48, 47, 48, 49, somewhere in there. So we're almost 50. Everybody's had 2 or 3 different jobs, probably. Some people have been married to the same person. Some people have been married twice. Some people are divorced. Some people are single. Some people never married. Some people, or whatever. And all of that's fine. Everybody has kids. Some people have kids in college. Mine are 12 years old. Everybody's at a different place and a different time and a different thing. It'd be really fun to catch up. So I'm trying to decide on that. It's an interesting conversation. And there were 450 of us, 500 of us, something like that. And there's 20 that actually talk to each other, I guess, or maybe 30. I don't know. Anyway, it's all on Facebook. So that's an interesting conversation. And as soon as we start talking about it, I'm like, oh, I'm so puffy. I need a facelift. Oh, hello. It's been 30 years. All right, next up, we're going to get into what we are supposed to be talking about, which is Google My Business. Today is the day that we are going to talk about Google My Business. So if you are with me and you are watching the replay or you're watching this, type in hashtag GMB. I am going to try desperately to see if we have audio one more time before we move on. It would be super nice if my phone would just, cooperate. Let's see. Ooh, here it is. Let's see. And you are watching the replay or you're watching this, type in hashtag GMB. I'm going to try desperately to see if we have audio one more time. Okay, we do. And I have to turn it down, otherwise I'll hear myself on delay, and that's weird. Okay, so hashtag GMB. If you're watching this on a replay, type in hashtag replay and hashtag GMB, and you might be one of the people that actually wins the chocolate-covered strawberries. See? 2 people have won so far. We mail them out. Google My Business is our topic of discussion today. Hashtag GMB. So the first thing we're going to talk about are changes. Google changes stuff at least every 6 months, if not more regularly. It's hard for everybody to keep up with all the things. So a couple of years ago, if you were paying attention and you were doing searches or you were running a business and trying to figure out where you showed up on Google, you would notice that when you typed in a search for pizza in St. Charles or home care St. Louis, there would be 7 map results, 7 results that would be like in the map, which was on the first page of Google. And then below that would be all the organic results. And above that would be paid results. Long story. So now, though, it went from a 7-pack, the geeky nerds of the world like me who pay attention to this kind of stuff called that the 7-pack. And now when you search for Home Care St. Louis or Pizza Place St. Charles or whatever your business is and the location, you get what's called a 3-pack. And so the people that are geekier than me call it a snack pack, which I cannot stand those two words together, but whatever. So now it's a snack pack. It's only 3 results in the maps. So you have to be like number 1, 2, or 3 on the first page of Google to even show up in the maps. And then underneath that starts your organic results. But above all of that are ads. So it's a mess. But here's the deal. It's a really, really good idea to have a Google My Business listing. This is the Google Business Directory. You can't fool Google if you don't really have a business location. You're trying to use the UPS store or a post office box. It's not going to work. It has to be a brick and mortar place. You have to put your real address in. You get a postcard in the mail. You confirm it, and you're off and running. So once you have your Google My Business listing, there are 2 or 3 things that make a pretty big difference, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The stuff that actually makes a difference. Google, in the last couple of years, maybe more heavily in the last year or so, is mobile everything. Everything to them has to be efficient, effective, visible, awesome on mobile. If it's not, you're out. So if your website, it loads slowly on Google, you're out. You're not going to show you in the mobile results if they can't get your page to load. They want the visitor of Google, the person who's doing the search or looking something up, to have an excellent experience. And if your website loads slow, you're down in the bottom. So make sure your website's awesome if you're going to do this, if you care about where your business shows up. The next thing that's important, and when everything is mobile, is that location. Location of your business is going to, every time I type in a search for Pizza St. Charles or Pizza Place or Pizza Restaurant St. Charles, if I am in the 63303, which is 5 miles the other direction, I'm going to get a different set of results than I am if I'm sitting here in my office in the 63301. Same is going to hold true for you. If you're 5 miles on the other side of town, you're going to get different results than you are sitting in your office. It's very, very mobile responsive. It knows where you are. So with that, how do you get your listing to be on top when people are searching? Hi, I see you, Kathy Jordan Uveges. And I'm saying that wrong. Sorry, Kathy, but I don't know how to say it. But hello, thanks for being here. So a couple of tips. Tip number 1. Oh, by the way, changes. There's my new hashtag. So we've had GMB. If you were here really early, we had a hashtag woke. And then we had hashtag GMB for Google My Business. And now we have hashtag changes because I just talked about changes in Google search results. Now we're going to talk about the tips. So tip sheet. And I have this in writing too. So you can't remember everything I say on this live. That's okay. I actually have this in writing and I will give it to you. Totally give it to you. You can have it if you type in hashtag tip sheet. What I'll do is I'll send you a private message and I'll get your email address and I'll just email you. It's just a document. Tip sheet for Google My Business, how to get the most out of it. All right, the first thing we got to talk about are reviews and testimonials. If you are a restaurant or a pizza place or an entertainment venue of any kind, it's a lot easier to get reviews. People, it's the generation that has a Google account. They're going to leave a review. I leave reviews. I typically don't leave bad reviews. It would have to be a super bad experience for me to leave a bad review. I don't like to do that because I absolutely understand the effect that has on a business. Just because a server's having a bad night doesn't mean you need to leave a bad review. If the food had a roach in it, that might be a bad review. So I don't like to leave bad reviews. I do like to leave good reviews anytime I can, and pictures, like our trip to the Grand Canyon or someplace that we've stayed or we're on vacation where we did take a few pictures. I have no problem putting a couple of pictures up there. And so I'm a Google reviewer. I like to do that. I like to help businesses along. So getting reviews and testimonials is tough for some businesses. Our senior care folks, it is really tough because this is a very private, very personal experience with a family, and it's hard for them. And they're also not of the demographic that naturally would have a Google account. And to leave a Google review, you have to have a Google account. But regardless of that, you have to ask. Most service businesses are in the mode now, like your plumber, your roofer, they will ask you for Google reviews. Your HVAC people, they will ask you to please fill out a comment card or go online. They'll send you an email. They ask you over and over again to please leave them a review. The same needs to hold true for senior service businesses and anybody else who doesn't have a lot of reviews. You have to ask. Luckily, anybody who's our client now has access to a system where we can send out emails to just the people you want us to send emails to that gives them a shortened link to your Google My Business listing so they can go ahead and leave you a review. And a couple of other places where they can leave a review if they don't want to do Google My Business. That is important, but you have to ask. If you have a regular rotation of emails that goes out monthly, quarterly, and ask people for reviews, then you're in good shape. And over time, they will accumulate. So getting those testimonial reviews is going to help your Google My Business listing. It's going to help where you show up in the Google rankings. Okay, so don't forget, if you want that tip sheet, put in hashtag tip sheet. If you're watching the replay, that's totally okay. Type in hashtag replay, hashtag tip sheet. I will get you the tip sheet. All right, so let's talk about the next thing that you probably don't know about, and that is blog posting. About, I would say 6 months ago, maybe a little bit more than that, Google started allowing folks to blog post on their Google My Business listing. So what we do and what I recommend that you all do is if you have regular content going on your website or your blog, if you have blog posts, which you should, and if you're a client of ours, you have a blog post every other week or every week, depending on your program. And anytime you blog post, you should take that same blog post, just take the excerpt and the title, go to your Google My Business listing. Now you have to be an admin of that or a manager of that listing in order to be able to blog post on it. You can't just go to anybody's random Google My Business listing and blog post. So you have to have control of your Google My Business listing, or at least be able to have a manager status so you can work with it. And when you do that, you go in, you can add a new blog post. You can link that blog post back to your website, to your actual blog post on your website, so that you get a link directly from Google to your website. And if you're consistent and you do this all the time, then you get a much better result. We experimented with this when they first started letting folks blog post on Google My Business. And we did a blog post every single week, or at least twice a month, for a couple of clients who really wanted to be seen in certain cities. And as long as we kept that up and we were doing that, their ranking, their Google rank, as far as where they showed up, really improved quite a bit. As soon as they stopped doing it, didn't pay attention to it, let it go, then their ranking dropped a little bit. So it's something that I recommend. I can't prove that it's exactly what makes that happen because there's so many factors that increase your visibility on Google. However, every little bit helps. If Google has a tool or a program they want you to use all the stuff. They want you to engage with it. And the more you engage, the more you make Google happy. And of course, they reward you for that. You play the game, they love you. So blog posting with pictures, by the way, don't put up a blog post that's just text. That's yucky. You have to add a photo or an image. It's sort of like Facebook. This is not Google Plus. Your personal Google Plus accounts are gone as of April. So this is Google My Business. You can blog post on your business listing now. Do it at least 2 times a month. Link back to your website, and you're good. Or if you don't have a website, which I couldn't take it, don't tell me if you don't have a website. But you could also link back to your Facebook page or whatever. So be aware that that exists and do that. That will absolutely help. Okay, so hashtag tip sheet if you want me to send you the PDF version of Google My Business tips. It's not very long, but it's hard to keep track of everything I'm saying here. So I will send you that. And also, we have other hashtags, like if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Any comments are awesome. Facebook loves to see engagement, and that's why I ask you guys to engage with me, ask questions, comment, do stuff. So I'm going to put this back up here one more time. Hashtag tip sheet. Okay, I usually wait 48 hours to 72 hours, and then I go back and look and see who's watched the replay, who's been commenting. And once I see all of that, then I go ahead and we do the drawing in the hat. We pick the winner. And if you're the winner, you'll get a message from me, and we'll send you out some of those yummy chocolate-covered strawberries, because I love doing that. The one more thing I should mention is that we have our sister company or whatever called Approved Senior Network. And that is on a Facebook page. You go to facebook.com/approved senior network. And when you do that, we are going live on that page. It's all senior issues, medical issues, things like that. I put on my nurse hat, not for real, but I'm the nurse that day. And we talk about different things pertaining to senior care live. And every time we do that, one of our clients is the sponsor of that show. So we put a shout out to them. We put out their website address all over it. We post a press release with the video of us talking about whatever the subject is on their blog. So it goes out to everything. And we post it on our website too. So ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com is the website, or if you go to Facebook.com/Approved Senior Network, you will see all of our videos and things like that. The next one is coming up August the 8th. So if you're interested in that, go like that page and you'll get reminders about that next live coming up on the Approved Senior Network. You can also get a free listing there if you're a home care agency or senior service provider of any kind, and you go to ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com, you can list your business for free. If you're not a senior service type business, and we stretch that pretty far, but if you're not a senior service provider, we delete you. So if you're an ice cream shop, probably not going to work out for you, but give it a try. Okay. That's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me live on the Valerie V Show. We are going to continue to do this in the evening. I think we get a little bit more, engagement in the evening because everybody's off work. And as school starts, it'll probably be a little easier. Everybody's out and about and enjoying their last days of vacation right now. So thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.